All right. So, something that I realized in the last couple of days was that I'm probably not going to be able to. Can you tell there's an election coming up? I'm not going to be able to do this twice a day, every day. Obviously, yes, I will ride my bike to and from work twice a day, every day, but I cannot keep up with the recordings and processing and uploading and everything every single day. Especially given that I don't have any following on this channel, and that's not really the goal. I care more about, I want people to see the videos because I think that people seeing what it's like is important. People understanding what it means to commute on bike through Baltimore City, what it looks like. And like, I know that what I'm doing is not even, obviously, I'm doing the same thing every single day. So you're seeing the same thing every single day. And it's just my experience. I think it's close to typical, but there's obviously other people who have probably more difficult uh, biking experiences. Certainly, I am. I have privilege. I have an e-bike, so it's certainly easier in that way. When I get to work, I'm not super sweaty because I was able to get that pedal assist. And even on the hottest days, honestly, this year it used to be I would get to work on some hot days. I mean, granted, it's only June, so there's a whole summer ahead. It hasn't been horrible um, in terms of humidity yet. It will. It's going to get worse. There have been some pretty muggy days, but even on those days when I get to work and I am a little bit sweaty, again, pretty lucky. I work in the IT department. I just hop into the IT closet and stand in front of the air conditioner for 5 minutes to cool down. Um, Obviously, that's not everyone's experience, but the I know that what I am doing is not necessarily typical, but I also know that what I am showing you is an example of what it's like to commute by bike in Baltimore City, demonstrating that the infrastructure is just not there. And that's not to say that it's dangerous. I mean, I do at least have this bus bike lane. Whether it is adequate is the right word. It is adequate, but it's not good. And it's certainly not good enough for people who are less risk averse or just younger. I would never, ever, ever let my kid do the commute that I do. Because I don't trust other people. I'm not, there's a video that I have from a few days after what we're looking at here. So this is the commute home on Friday, the 12th. On the coming Monday, I, on my bicycle, waiting for a traffic light, witnessed a car crash. A single vehicle car crash, or a vehicle crashed into a building. Um, folks may not realize this, but buildings don't move. It's not a moving target. You don't have to try very hard to not hit a building. And yet, this person did it. And I think it's important to highlight the just the culture of vehicles in this country. The fact that everything is built around the idea that everyone will be driving a car. Every other piece of infrastructure is an afterthought. And cars are so dangerous and unchecked that on a regular basis they're just running into buildings. And we kind of just accept that as part of the deal. I know someone a few years ago, their house got hit by a car. And they live on a residential street in Baltimore City. What the hell are you doing that you can't control a vehicle to not hit a house on a residential street? By a school. There are so many people who should not be driving cars, and we have built our society so that they don't have a choice. They don't have a choice except to drive if they want to go anywhere. And you know what? That includes older folk. You know, people always use like elderly people as a reason why we can't have better infrastructure and better transportation and everything. They're like, well, you know, old people need to drive because that's the only way that they can get around. They can't ride a bike. Fine. You know, I don't agree with that assessment. But yes, there are older people that just are not in a place where that they could control a bicycle either. They shouldn't be controlling any kind of machinery, heavy or not, for their own sake and others. But the answer to that question, the answer to that issue is not that we just have to keep the status quo, that we need to have cars for every single trip. The answer is that we need to improve our public transit and make it so that people like that don't have to drive everywhere they go. That we have trains and buses that are reliable and frequent and safe, that they can get on the bus, you can leave your house whenever you want. You don't have to be really thinking about when the next bus is. You just go outside, wait for the bus, it's there in like 5 or 10 minutes, and you go. And you get where you need to go in a timely manner. The way that the buses work in Baltimore City today, they're okay. Again, they are adequate. I even struggle to use that word. Not just for the buses, but also for the bike infrastructure. It is okay. It is, without a doubt, this city is not the worst. It is not the most car-dependent city in America. My neighborhood is very walkable. But the question then is, are we okay with the way things are now? Is this what we want to... You see in this video, you can count how many people you see using micromobility, using scooters and bicycles to get around. It's not just me. It's a lot of people. But what's going to happen is you're going to have, the more people you have on all of the bikes and the scooters with this, frankly, inadequate biking infrastructure is you're going to have crashes. You're going to have incidents where people get severely injured or killed. One happened outside of my office building recently. Uh, an individual on a bicycle got hit by a car. And I don't know the circumstances of that crash. But the fact of the matter is, it wouldn't happen if the infrastructure that we built, our built environment, was designed with the idea that there are people who are not driving cars. Yes, there are some bike lanes, but it's still, everything is still circled around the automobile. Things need to get better, and that's why I have this channel. I know that I've gotten well over halfway through my commute, and I have just started. I just finished the first thing that came out of my mouth. But this is why I have the channel. This is why I'm creating these videos. Um, but as I began saying at the beginning, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this every day, twice a day. It is time consuming. Each video takes at least 20 minutes of my time to go through watching the video again after having recorded it and voice over the entire experience and then process it and upload it. And that's not a huge amount of time, but I don't have a lot of spare time. I have a small kid. I'm in the middle of trying to move. Maybe at some point down the road I'll have more free time to be able to do things like this, but I think in the meantime, again, especially since I haven't seen anything to indicate that folks are really watching this channel, I'm mostly talking to myself. For now, that's okay. I see this as a way, if someone gets partway through one of these videos, they get to see what it's like. One of the videos that I will upload later this week, probably, you'll see, I'll highlight my city councilor, Mark Parker, is in the video. I saw him riding his bike through downtown with his kid, and I know, obviously, he's on his bike already. I know he has a decent idea of what it's like currently, but it's people like him that I hope will come into contact with some of these videos, see what it's really like. Because something that I have realized is so many of our elected officials have no idea what it's like to not be behind the windshield of a car. They call it windshield bias. They just don't have any experience with that. And so how can they possibly legislate to the needs of people who rely on that infrastructure, people who rely on the buses, people who rely on being able to get to and from work on their bikes? How could you possibly know what that's like if you've never done it? Well, that's what I hope that these videos will help to illustrate, is even if you don't personally do that commute, you can get a first person experience of what that actually looks like every single day. I don't think it's reasonable to put up one video of my commute to work, one video of my commute home from work, and say, this is representative of my every single day, and expect people to take that at its face. I think I need to be able to show what every single day actually looks like. Because until things change, the only way that we make change is by showing other people what it's like, what it means to rely on these systems and feel the failures of them. So, as we come up on the tail end of this video, I am going to finish by saying, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I am probably preaching to the choir in a lot of situations. I imagine the people that come across a video like this are probably already in the same boat, but I also want to say how much I really, really appreciate all of the people who actually do watch these videos, because there are a few. So thank you. And if you enjoy these videos, like and subscribe maybe? And maybe share them. And if you live in Baltimore City and you want to see improvements to bike infrastructure, maybe share these with your elected officials. Personally, obviously, I live in District 46 of the Maryland Legislature and District 1 of the Baltimore City Council. So as I said, Mark Parker is my city councilor, and right now, as I speak, there is an election going on, as you saw in the beginning of the video. So, it's a good time to be thinking about these things. All right, so we are coming to a close here. I will say, once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.